Hello and welcome to State Scoop TV. I'm Jake Williams. My guest today is Jim Edman. He's the Chief Security Officer and Deputy Commissioner in South Dakota. How you doing, Jim?
Good, Jake.
So, Jim, what have you spent the past year working on?
Security, I think it goes without saying, security is at the top of most of our IT priorities these days. So that's certainly at the top, in addition to working with the development initiatives across the state in trying to automate and make efficient as many opportunities as we can come across.
That's great. And, how are you on a daily basis in your role? How are you trying to bring innovation to projects and initiatives in South Dakota?
The innovation question is always challenging because state government, on one hand, by its nature, we're not on the bleeding edge of innovation. Hopefully we'll be somewhat more in the fast follower mode than on the leading edge, or possibly even the bleeding edge or behind. But to go about innovation really takes a partnership with the agencies, because they're the ones that really do the business of state government. Our role is to partner with them to make their communications, their processes, procedures with the constituents far more efficient. And so finding those agencies that are interested in innovation and new ideas, new applications, mobile applications, those sorts of things, that's part of our challenge with it.
That's great. And so, it's hard to believe that 2016 is almost over now here in mid-September, but what have been your biggest challenges of 2016, and really how have you dealt with them?
I think trying to stay current in the cybersecurity world, making sure our patches, our updates, the products, our applications that we're putting out there. Unfortunately, most of what we do in cybersecurity is in a reactive mode, but as much effective processes you can put in ahead of time, patching machines, educating folks, training our staff, keeping our hardware, software current. That goes a long ways towards not making the news in a negative manner.
That's good. Well, if you need to make the news, you do it nice.
Thanks.
So, you've been in state government for a while, and you do a lot of work. You've done a lot of work in the space. But what aspect about your job? What aspect about being the Chief Security Officer for South Dakota? What aspect of that are you most passionate about?
I think generally speaking, the passion comes from the ability to make a significant difference across the enterprise. In our state, we're fortunate enough to be in a very centralized organization, so our department has responsibility all the way from the desktop through network, through data center, through applications, education and training on cyber with security. So the passion is pretty easy to develop when you have that enterprise view and that ability to make a difference on a daily basis. That's what I think differentiates us from a lot of other opportunities that folks have to work with. We're on a statewide basis, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that.
That's great. And last question for you. How, on a daily basis, how are you guys in South Dakota really trying to use technology to help lower the cost of government?
State government regulates constituents in a lot of different areas. Getting driver's license or registering vehicles, or even with lotteries, state lotteries. We have Medicaid, Medicare services, health services, a wide variety of very disparate businesses. And some aspects of technology continue to lower in their costs, while others, quite frankly, get more and more expensive. And then you throw in the issue specifically in cyber, where there are new services that you'd like to take advantage of that you may not be able to afford today. So really, I think what you find across most states is that as you get more efficient in some areas, for example, the cost of telecom, frankly, the cost of bandwidth continues to drop over time. Well, you take the savings from there and you roll those into new areas that arise and that you have to pay for, like cybersecurity. You know, there aren't very many states that get an increase in budget. So by our nature, we have to find where we can save money in one hand and translate it to the other hand so that we can continue to offer new and improved services.
That's great. That's a great answer. Well, Jim, thanks for being with us today, and thanks for your answers. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you. For more about what's going on in South Dakota and going on across the country when it comes to information technology, check out statescoop.com and subscribe to the Daily Scoop newsletter. Again, I'm with Deputy Commissioner and Chief Security Officer Jim Edman from the state of South Dakota. I'm Jake Williams. Thanks for watching.